There's just one answer that I need to do today, but I've got to get this right.
Right, recording.
Okay, so we come to the part in the paper where we need to make a decision. And what I'm going to do in this video is take you through how I would get a level 7 or above on the question. And the likely question as a decision is this. Study figure 3 in the resource booklet, Road Development in the Peruvian Amazon. Do you think the proposed road development should go ahead, tick the box to show your choice, use evidence from the resource booklet and your own understanding to explain your choice? Now, I'm going to be arguing that the road development should go ahead. And my answer is going to consist of 4 Peel paragraphs: point, explain, evidence, and link back to the question. The first 2 paragraphs are going to be supporting the road. The second 2 paragraphs are going to be the arguments against the road, but I'm going to try and disprove those arguments. So let's look at the first paragraph, and this is the most important argument. The main reason for supporting the road in Peru is to reduce poverty in rural areas and improve development. New roads will create trade corridors to Brazil and open up areas for industrial development. This will create jobs for rural dwellers, where 40% of the population are living in extreme poverty. Increased exports will enable the government to invest in social improvements like education and develop sanitation and clean water supplies in rural areas, which are currently way below levels in urban areas, e.g. Lima. Now let's look at that first paragraph, which is arguing for the road. We've got our clear point, and I'm going to show our point in pink. So the main point is to reduce poverty in rural areas and improve development. That's our main point. What's the explanation to this point? I'm going to do my explanation in yellow. The explanation is that new roads will create trade corridors and open up development. I'm now going to look at my evidence. I'm going to do that in green. So my evidence, I can see that I've already put in about the 40% of the population are living in extreme poverty. And then I've got my final double development, my linked statement. And what I've said here in the end of the paragraph, increased exports are going to lead to improvements like education and sanitation, is my linked explanation. Okay, let's move on to the second paragraph. Now remember, this one again is arguing for the road development. Furthermore, road development may actually reduce illegal logging. Illegal deforestation destroys the environment because of clear felling, seen in figure 2, which encourages soil erosion. The road is planned to go through 2 protected reserves and national parks. This will ensure that deforestation is selectively felled, as they will carefully manage this area, so lead to far less environmental destruction. So let's go back again and identify which parts were my points, which parts were my evidence, which parts were my explanation, and which parts were my double developments. So my point is that road building may reduce illegal logging. My evidence for this, which I'm using green, is that we can see in figure 2 clear felling. Clear felling is when they go in and they just cut down or burn every single tree in their path. So then I'm going to get into my explanation, which is in my yellow. So my explanation is that illegal deforestation destroys the environment because of this clear felling. I've also then got my double development, that because the road is going through protected areas, they will selectively fell. This means they go in and they will only take generally those more mature trees or the path of the road itself. So that will mean that there'll be far less destruction. The next section, my next Peel paragraph, I'm going to be arguing what other people would say is a counter-argument, and I'm going to try and disprove it. So the section says, some people may disagree because of climate change. Tropical rainforests across the globe act as a carbon sink. Increased traffic along the roads will further increase emissions into the atmosphere. However, international agreements such as Paris 2015 have supported a reduction of emissions at a global scale, so steps have been taken to mitigate against climate change. So yet again, what's my point? My argument against the roads is climate change. My explanation for this is that the trees act as a carbon sink. That means that they hold carbon dioxide within the biomass. I've then further explained it with increased traffic will lead to even more emissions, so that's my double development. And my evidence, which I'm showing in yellow, in green, is the Paris Agreement. I've taken that straight from the resource. So then I'm going to finish with my fourth paragraph, my fourth Peel paragraph. Moreover, others would argue that there will be a loss of biodiversity. Often, along the sides of the road, a 10-kilometre strip of land is lost. This leads to a loss of habitats, which could include a loss of species. 10 are lost daily. They argue we would lose vital, undiscovered medicine, such as malaria, which will only increase with future temperature rises. So let's go back and identify the points. So the main point is the loss of biodiversity as an argument against the roads. Our evidence for that in green is that there is often 10-kilometre strip of land lost, and I've also evidenced 10 species being lost daily. My explanation is that often we will get increased development along the sides of roads, and then I've double developed that by arguing about the fact that we will lose species, and this will lose potential medicines such as for malaria, which will only increase. Malaria is transferred by parasites, by the mosquito, and we think that there will be increased mosquitoes as the temperature rises. I'm then going to finish off my overall answer with a conclusion, which is going to sum up essentially why I think the road should go ahead. Overall though, the road will provide more solutions for Peru than problems. As it is well planned, it might reduce illegal logging. Peru can control the rate of deforestation, so control the environmental problems and gain both socially and economically. You'll notice in my conclusion, I haven't added any new information to the argument. I'm just summing up that the road is a good idea for social and economic reasons, and the environmental problems will be reduced.